If you're over 60, every bite you take is either a step toward healing or a quiet strain on the heart that's carried you through a lifetime. You may think you're doing everything right, eating your greens, skipping dessert, saying no to fried food. But here's the truth no one tells you. Some vegetables, yes, vegetables, can silently turn against you. I've been a heart doctor for over 2 decades, and time after time, seniors come into my clinic confused, tired, breathless, unsure why their medication isn't working as it should. Their intentions are pure, their meals look clean, but something invisible is working against them, on their very own plate. The enemy, not sugar, not fat, but certain common vegetables that, when eaten the wrong way or paired with the wrong medication, can quietly thicken your blood, raise your pressure, or even carry bacteria your body can no longer fight off. It's a betrayal in disguise, the kind of danger that doesn't knock, doesn't shout, just quietly chips away at the heart, until one day it's too late. So in this video, I'm not here to scare you, I'm here to protect you. I'm going to walk you through 5 vegetables, foods many seniors eat daily, and explain exactly how they can harm your heart, and most importantly, how to enjoy them safely, wisely, and in a way that supports your health. Because the good news is, you don't have to give up flavor. You just need to understand how your body changes after 60 and how to adapt with it, not against it. Please stay with me, because the first vegetable I'll talk about might already be in your fridge, and it may be quietly undoing the very medicine that's meant to protect you. And before we dive in, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. This channel exists to help you stay stronger, longer, and in control of your health. And if this message speaks to you already, type 1 in the comments to let me know you're here. If not, type 0 and tell me how I can serve you better. Vegetable number 1, spinach, when heart medicine becomes powerless. Let's begin with one of the most trusted greens on any senior's plate, spinach. It's been praised as a superfood for decades, rich in iron, packed with nutrients, light, leafy, and clean. But for seniors over 60, especially those taking heart medications, this leafy green can quietly turn from healer into saboteur. Here's why. Spinach is loaded with vitamin K, a vitamin essential for blood clotting. That sounds like a good thing, and it is, for a healthy, unmedicated body. But for anyone on blood thinners like warfarin, commonly prescribed after heart attacks, strokes, or to manage atrial fibrillation, vitamin K becomes a dangerous wildcard. Why? Because it directly interferes with your medication. Too much spinach doesn't just nourish you, it thickens your blood, undoing the very protection your doctor worked so hard to give you. And the most dangerous part? You don't feel it happening. There are no warning signs, no chest pain, no dizziness, just a quiet reversal of your body's defense against deadly blood clots. I've had patients come to me devastated. Good people who drank spinach smoothies every morning, who loaded their salads with leafy greens, believing they were fighting heart disease, only to discover their clean-eating habits had silenced their medication. Spinach isn't the villain here, but inconsistency is. The truth is, your heart medicine and your vegetables must move in rhythm, like a dance. If you're going to eat spinach, eat it in moderation, and even more importantly, consistently. Don't go from 0 to 5 bowls a week without letting your doctor know, because every shift in vitamin K can shift the power of your prescription. At this stage of life, food isn't just fuel, it's chemistry. What's on your plate can either amplify your protection or silently undo it. So before you reach for that next handful of spinach, ask yourself, is my heart medicine still protecting me, or am I unknowingly pushing it away? Because if spinach, something so pure, can do this, imagine what other vegetables might be working against you. Let's move to the next one, a crunchy favorite that seems harmless, even refreshing, but carries more sodium than a bag of chips. It might already be sitting beside your sandwich. Vegetable number 2, pickles, the salty trap. Tightening around your heart. They're crisp, they're tangy, they sit innocently beside your sandwich like an afterthought. But for seniors over 60, pickles can be a slow-acting trap that tightens around your heart, one bite at a time. Most people never think twice. A few slices of pickled cucumber here, a relish spoon there. It doesn't seem like much. But here's the bitter truth hiding in all that briny crunch. Pickles are packed with sodium, often more than 1,000 milligrams per serving. That's over 2/3 of your recommended salt intake for the entire day in just a few green slivers. And salt, my friend, isn't just air, it's a force. It pulls water into your bloodstream, raises the volume of blood your heart has to pump, and puts your arteries under constant pressure, like a hose being forced to carry more water than it was built for. That pressure doesn't just stay silent. Over time, it leads to hypertension, stiff arteries, and the slow wearing down of the heart's natural rhythm. I've had patients tell me, "Doctor, I eat clean. I don't touch fried foods. I've even given up wine." And yet, their blood pressure remains stubbornly high. Why? Because no one ever told them that the pickles on their plate were quietly undoing all their effort. And the most dangerous part of sodium damage? There are no warning signs, no sirens, no symptoms, until the stroke hits, until the chest tightens, until the doctor says your heart is failing. After 60, your kidneys lose some of their efficiency and your blood vessels lose flexibility. That means salt doesn't just pass through anymore, it sticks around, and it burdens the very system you're trying to protect. It's not just pickles either. Canned vegetables, store-bought soups, healthy frozen meals, they all hide salt in places you'd never expect. But here's the hope. You don't have to give up flavor. You just have to shift how you build it. Cook at home when you can. Read labels like they're love letters to your heart. Swap the brine for a squeeze of lemon, a sprinkle of herbs or garlic used wisely, because salt may taste simple, but the damage it leaves behind is anything but. And if pickles, those tiny green bites, can put your heart at risk, what happens when you throw spice into the fire? Let's talk about the next one. A fiery favorite that's comforting to the tongue, but maybe burning your heart from the inside out. Vegetable number 3, red chili peppers, the fiery ingredient fueling your heart's downfall. For many seniors, spice is more than taste. It's tradition. It's childhood memories, family dinners, a kitchen filled with warmth, a dash of chili in the soup, a flicker of heat in the stew, a little fire to remind you that you're alive. But for hearts over 60, that tiny red pepper might be doing more than just exciting your tongue. It might be igniting a fire your heart can no longer control. Red chili peppers, especially the strong, concentrated kinds, stimulate your nervous system, trigger adrenaline, and cause your heart rate and blood pressure to spike. Now, in a younger body, this response may not be a problem, but in an aging heart, one that's already working harder, with arteries that are stiffer and less forgiving, that sudden jolt of stimulation is more than excitement. It's a silent assault. I've seen it again and again. Older adults come into the clinic after a spicy meal, complaining of palpitations, chest tightness, anxiety, or sudden dizziness. They never suspect the culprit is the heat on their plate, because it's not just the spice, it's what your body does with that spice. It floods your bloodstream with stress hormones. Your blood vessels constrict, your blood pressure rises, and your heart, already tired, has to race to keep up. One spicy dish may feel like nothing, until one day it tips the scale into a heart rhythm disorder, or worse, a cardiac event. And here's something few people realize. Chronic use of chili peppers in older age can lead to low-grade inflammation in the blood vessels. A slow burn that quietly weakens your circulatory system just when you need it most. But let me be clear, you don't need to live without flavor. You don't need to eat bland food that makes life feel colorless. You just need to shift the source of your flavor. Gentle herbs. Warming spices like turmeric or ginger. Citrus zest, garlic in moderation, a splash of olive oil. These can all awaken your taste buds without overwhelming your heart. Because when comfort food comes with cardiac stress, it's not comfort at all. It's a gamble. And if this fiery little pepper can shake your system this deeply, what happens when a natural medicine you trust, starts thinning your blood beyond what's safe? The next vegetable is often praised as a miracle cure, but for some seniors, it becomes a hidden danger, one clove at a time. Let's talk about it next. Vegetable number 4, raw garlic. When nature's medicine turns against your heart. It's been called a miracle from the earth, a healer in your kitchen. For centuries, raw garlic has stood as a symbol of natural medicine, known for lowering cholesterol, fighting infection, and even thinning the blood to protect the heart. And for many seniors, it feels like a simple truth. If it's natural, it must be safe. But here's what most don't realize. Even nature, if misused, can cut deeper than it heals. Raw garlic is powerful, and like any powerful substance, it can quietly become dangerous when paired with the wrong partner. In this case, your heart medication. Garlic acts as a natural blood thinner, which sounds like a good thing, until it stacks on top of your prescription. If you're taking warfarin, aspirin, or other anticoagulants, adding raw garlic to the mix can tip the balance too far. Your blood doesn't just flow, it floods. I've treated patients with spontaneous nosebleeds that wouldn't stop. Black stools, sudden dizziness, their blood pressure crashing with no warning. And they all had one thing in common. They were swallowing cloves of raw garlic, believing they were saving their heart, when in fact they were unknowingly increasing their risk of internal bleeding. But bleeding isn't the only risk. Garlic in large raw amounts can also lower blood pressure suddenly. And if you're already on medication to do the same, that extra drop can cause lightheadedness, fainting, or even a lack of oxygen reaching the brain. Imagine this, your heart struggling to pump and your blood pressure falling too low to support it, all because you tried to do something right. The irony cuts deep. You're not eating processed junk. You're not being careless. You're choosing garlic, something your parents, maybe even your grandparents believed in. But your body after 60 is different. It reacts more intensely, it recovers more slowly, and it demands that we match tradition with understanding. So if you love garlic, and many do, choose cooked, choose moderate, and above all, tell your doctor before making it a daily ritual. Because food may be medicine, but only when it's taken with wisdom. And if something as sacred as garlic can become risky with age, what about those crunchy little sprouts you add for freshness? They look healthy, they taste clean, but they may be carrying something your immune system can no longer handle. Let's talk about that next. Vegetable number 5, raw sprouts. The innocent crunch that could break a senior's heart. They look like a symbol of life, fresh, vibrant, bursting with energy. Raw sprouts, alfalfa, mung bean, radish, they're often the final touch on a clean salad or healthy sandwich, whispering the promise of purity and youth. But for those over 60, this innocent crunch can hide a danger your heart may not survive. Sprouts grow in warm, humid conditions, the same environment where deadly bacteria thrive. E. coli, salmonella, listeria, tiny threats you can't see, but that can tear through an aging immune system in a matter of hours. When you're young, your body might fight them off with discomfort, a stomach ache, a rough night. But as we age, our defenses slow down, weaken, and tire. And what starts as a tummy ache can quickly spiral into something much darker. Dehydration, sepsis, or even an infection of the heart lining. Endocarditis. I've seen it with my own eyes. Older patients trying to eat clean, live right, land in the ER because of a handful of sprouts tossed onto a sandwich. And the tragedy? They thought they were doing everything right. They had left the fast food behind. They had embraced the natural way. But nature too carries risk, especially when it's raw, damp, and uncooked. Your heart can't heal while your body is fighting a war inside. When infection takes hold, your circulatory system suffers. Blood pressure dips, rhythms shift, and oxygen can't reach where it's needed. All because of something you thought was healthy. And what makes it worse? There are no warnings on the package, no smell, no sign, just a soft crunch and a silent risk. But there is a solution. You don't have to say goodbye to sprouts, just cook them. A quick saute, a gentle steam. That's all it takes to kill the bacteria and still enjoy the texture, the the taste, the nutrition. Because in this stage of life, it's not just about what you eat, it's how your body receives it. The same food that helped you thrive at 40 could quietly harm you at 70 if your system isn't ready. And if a handful of sprouts can carry such risk, what about the vegetables that aren't dangerous on their own, but become toxic when mixed with the wrong medications? Let's move into something even more important. What seniors should eat to truly protect the heart. After all this talk of danger, you might be wondering, what's left for me to eat? If even vegetables can betray your heart, what can you trust? Here's the answer. You don't need complicated diets. You don't need to chase the latest health trend or survive on powders and pills. What your heart needs, especially after 60, is not perfection, but protection. And that protection comes from real whole foods that work with your body, not against it. Steamed broccoli, roasted carrots, sautéed kale, sweet potatoes baked until tender, tomatoes cooked gently to unlock their lycopene, a bowl of lentils or soft green beans simmered in olive oil and herbs. These aren't just foods, they're medicine in disguise. They're rich in potassium, fiber, antioxidants, and plant compounds that calm inflammation, stabilize blood pressure, and keep your arteries open, supple, and strong. Unlike salty pickles or raw sprouts, these vegetables are gentle. They digest easily. They support your medication rather than fighting it. I've watched patients who were exhausted, swollen, discouraged, transform over a few months of consistent, heart-honoring meals. Not by eating fancy, not by starving themselves, but by choosing warm, nourishing, forgiving food, day after day. Think of it like this. A lightly steamed bowl of greens is a kind word to your heart. A roasted root vegetable is a slow, steady rhythm for your blood. A bowl of bean soup is a shield for your arteries. And if you're worried healthy food has to be bland, let me tell you, it doesn't. Flavor doesn't come from fire, it comes from balance. From rosemary, turmeric, a squeeze of lemon. From garlic in moderation, olive oil, basil, thyme. You can love your food and let your food love you back. Because at this age, eating isn't just about fuel. It's about healing. It's about listening to your body and building a plate that says, I care about you. I want you to keep going. But even with the best vegetables in the world, there's one more habit, one small thing that can undo all your effort if you're not paying attention. Let's talk about that next. Because your heart still has time. Your heart has been beating for you since the very beginning. Through joy and loss, through laughter and loneliness, it has never taken a day off. Over 2 billion times it has pulsed beneath your chest, quietly carrying you forward, asking for nothing, until now. Now, it's asking you to listen, because aging isn't a sign that you're fading, it's a signal to get wiser, to recognize that what worked at 40 might not protect you at 70, that even the healthiest food, if taken the wrong way or at the wrong time, can become the very thing that silently steals your strength. But here's what I need you to hear most. It is not too late. Your heart is not broken. It is waiting for your attention, waiting for consistency, waiting for one small decision each day to begin reversing years of silent strain. I've seen it. Seniors who walked into my clinic breathless, tired, thinking decline was inevitable. Leave with stronger pulses, steadier steps, clearer minds, not because they did something extreme, but because they did something intentional. They stopped rushing, they started cooking again, they listened to their bodies, they stopped trusting headlines and started trusting balance. That could be you, not tomorrow, today. So please, revisit your plate, reclaim your power. Don't let small, avoidable mistakes rob you of the years you still have ahead, because your heart still has time, still has love to give, still has songs to sing with your grandchildren, walks to take with old friends, moments to feel proud, at peace, and fully alive. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to pay attention. Start today, not in fear, but with courage, because every heartbeat from here on is a gift.